Hello and welcome to Tales from the Ugly Chair on Noggin Comics. Do you miss the 90s? Because guess what? The 90s was 30 years ago, and the book that we're going to be talking about on Tales from the Ugly Chair really captures that feeling of the 90s. So, on this episode of Tales from the Ugly Chair, we're going to be talking about The Edge by Marvin Wynn and Mark V. Marvin Wynn's the writer, Mark V is the artist. And if I had to do a comparison to what The Edge reminds me of, Cyberforce. I actually just read this for the first time right before we did the Vintage Fest, and I gotta admit, I actually really enjoy it. I realized that I have a huge Mark Silvestri hole in my life that I got filled now. And another book that just recently came out that we can compare it to is Local Man by Tim Seeley and Tony Fleece. Now, this is a dramatic take. Like the first part of this is dramatic, second part of it is much like The Edge. So, what is The Edge? The Edge is a team full, I would say, like covert ops superheroes, much in vain of Cyberforce and X-Men and Brigade. The only difference is that this was made in the 2020, 2021, 2022 era. Those were made in the 90s. But we're nostalgic, and I feel like this pulls on the nostalgic heartstrings that we have. Now, to be transparent, Marvin is a supporter and a fan of the channel and our Instagram page, and we've talked to Marvin in the past. That being said, this story is mostly based on action and action alone. And if that's what you want, then that's exactly what you get in this story. Nothing highbrow, nothing really dramatic at all. It is a 90s comic book, 90s action film through and through. I would say that the character designs stick out more than the characters in it. There's certain designs of characters like that guy's awesome, doesn't have much of a personality, but the design is cool. But that being said, I think that is something that can be explored if The Edge continues on. And the backup stories, there's two backup stories which expand on two characters that I found more enjoyable personally than the whole story, the whole 4 issues, I believe, of this. That being said, I did have a lot of fun. This goes action-packed. And coming off of just reading Cyberforce for the first time, I was in that mood to get that old 90s feel. And honestly, I kind of feel like if it had that over-the-top artwork that, you see, I won't say over-the-top, more exaggerated artwork like Silvestri and Jim Lee, McFarlane and Liefeld, this book, I may have been even more invested than I am. That being said, I would continue to read the continuation of what the Edge universe has to present. It's presented by Comicsburg, published by Comicsburg. And I backed this Kickstarter. That's what this is. I'm not entirely sure if you can be finding this in the stores. Like I said, I backed it on Kickstarter. I did find a couple of the issues of The Edge at a local comic shop a few years ago. But if you see Marvin at any of the comic conventions you go to, or you can find them on The Edge comic on Instagram, I say if you really like the 90s artwork, the night style, or the stories of the 90s, this is the book for you. I didn't want to go so much into detail about what the story is. all I can say is the team tries to go after somebody that was on the, or like, it's very much like the X-Men, I should say. You have the everyone knows each other, and they're going after to find one person. Um, yeah, but like I said, The Edge. If you enjoy '90s artwork, or not '90s artwork, '90s storytelling, this is the book for you. Uh, I would just say if the dialogue could be tightened up a little bit and the artwork was a little more exaggerated, it would be a phenomenal read. But uh, on to the future of Noggin Comics. We will be at two comic shows as of right now. Two as of right now in March and April. March is the Minnesota Comic Exchange Comic Show in Woodbury. This was a show that uh, we were a part of. That we at the first show we helped in everything. Unfortunately, we have other commitments, but we're going to be able to be at this show. We're going to be on the floor, maybe buying some comics, talking to the community, hopefully getting some content for the channel. The second show is April 8th by the Midwest Comic Book Fans, called Microcon 3. And it's the very last show, very last Microcon. This is in Mounds View, Minnesota. We're going to be tabling with Mind's Eye Comics out there. So hopefully we can get content at both seasons. It would be really cool to get content at Microcon, with it being the last one. It's going to be a celebration more than anything. It's fan appreciation. So attendance at both these shows are free. So if you are in the Minnesota area, I highly recommend going to both shows. Beyond those shows, the future of Noggin Comics is very, I won't say sporadic, as much as Nora and I have some ideas are going to be floating around. Try to get back to weekly comics, picks of the week, previews, and then in the comment section, if you made it this far, please let me know if there's any other content you would like us to see. We're starting to explore shorts. We would love to start doing some live stream, getting talking to the community. But yeah, on that note, don't forget to like, comment. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Until then, see you at the comic shop.